So the theme of the spring EIU is take it to the limit. And we see our industry taking it to the limit in a lot of ways. We're looking at unprecedented supplies of natural gas, but at the same time, we're seeing end-use customers walk away from natural gas. And we talk about resilience. So resilience is all about taking it to the limit. What does it mean when we have a natural disaster or a huge event that impacts the reliability of the electric system? We're seeing tremendous numbers of states, individual companies, and utilities commit to 100% clean energy goals. Another way that we're taking it to the limit in terms of what we're asking the system that was designed for something very different to do.
In North America, and particularly the United States, gas production has been growing at a phenomenal rate. On abundant natural gas, there's a lot more of supply which has really driven down prices for the average consumer as well as for power productions. And that has provided a number of opportunities. One is that we've been able to do a lot more coal to gas switching for power production. We've also been able to increase the number of commercial and residential customers. And finally, liquefied natural gas is becoming a global commodity. Gas utilities have actually been making much progress in terms of reducing emissions, but there are three areas that they can focus on: baselining and benchmarking for things such as lost unaccounted for gas. The second is decarbonizing the gas stream, and that might be done through upstream verification systems. Third area is resource optimization, and that would include making the most out of your existing infrastructure, as well as thinking beyond just pipeline alternatives to things such as compressed natural gas or liquefied natural gas.
Resilience is really different because it considers the ability of the power system to respond to and recover from much more serious events. Things that like major storms, major cybersecurity events, or very high impact, low probability events. So NERC and other federal entities and others have been considering resilience for some time. NERC's framework really has four main elements, each sort of corresponding with different series of an event. It starts with robustness, the ability to absorb shock and continue to operate soundly. Second of all, it involves resourcefulness, the ability to detect and respond to crises in real time. Third includes rapid recovery, the ability to restore service quickly after an event. And finally includes adaptability, the ability to incorporate lessons learned to continue to improve resilience of the system. The challenge about it is that the way traditional planning works, it looks at sort of economically justifiable investments and sort of practical results. In many cases, resilience investments may not fit into those traditional sorts of models.
Over the past year, we've seen a surge in new commitments, both from state governments as well as regulated utilities looking toward 100% clean energy. And we've gotten to the point that over 30% of the electric load in the US is now governed by a commitment for 100% clean energy, either by a state government or a utility. We think about those in three main buckets. First, you have a commitment like the state of Hawaii made toward 100% renewable energy. This means that all generation will come from renewable resources like wind and solar and likely require a lot of battery storage. Second, a bit more flexible, we have zero carbon commitments. This leaves space for nuclear generation, which is considered clean but not renewable. And third, the most flexible, we've seen steps toward net zero or carbon neutral. This leaves room for not only nuclear generation, but also the use of carbon capture and sequestration, as well as potentially the use of carbon offset mechanisms. When thinking about these goals, utilities or states need to think about their specific customer base and the resources that they have access to.
What you're going to see in this issue of our EIU is what we think about where the industry's headed. At the end of the day, the pandemic changes everything. So this is our best view on what's happening, and hopefully we can talk soon about whether or not we got it right.